Hey friends, welcome or welcome back. My name is Savannah and this is the Sewlivi Dyes Yarn knitting podcast. I like to share with you everything that I've been working on within the last week. I try to get these videos out every Sunday. But yeah, it's usually knitting, spinning, and any other kind of crafts that I might be into. I'm going to talk about all that stuff first, and then I'm going to try to remember at the end to talk about life stuff because I have a few things that are pretty exciting that has been happening this last week, and I'd like to share it with you just in case, it might be something that you're interested in as well. So let's go ahead and just get started. Knitting. I've only been knitting on 2 projects this week, and I've been pretty happy about it. It feels good. I haven't been touching the other things, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. Let me go ahead and show you what I got. So I'll show you my, this is the half and half triangles wrap by Pearl Soho. There is a spring that is broken in this couch and it's uncomfortable. But yes, so I wanted to show you what I did. Last week when I showed you what I was working on, I was still on the first half. And I was talking about how I was hoping that I had enough yarn to finish that half without having to break into the third skein of yarn. And unfortunately, that was not the case. So here's skein 3 of, this is Pearl Soho's linen quill, which is a 50% fine Highland wool, 35% alpaca, and 15% linen. This colorway is Peach Stone. Really lovely color. It is very mauve-y purple, if you want to call it that. I was going to weigh this and tell you how much that I've used, but I forgot to. I swear, I probably used less than 20 grams. Let me go get you know what? I'll just do a post after and put in how much. I'll weigh it. But yeah, I'm pretty bummed. This is what's left. Almost a full skein of it. So that means that I did go ahead and start the second color finally. I'm so excited. So my second color is oatmeal gray. I have it in this lovely yarn cozy that my friend Nicole sent me. This was made by Otterly Adorable Knits. They are on Etsy, I believe based out of Iowa, actually. So this is the medium-sized cake. It is loose, but that's fine. It works. It's fun, and it's closed bottom as well. It's not like your typical yarn cozies that are all the way through and stretchy. This one's like a little cup. So yes, I started the second half. I am so excited about this. Let me go ahead. I can't stretch it all the way out because my cable is not long enough, but here is that portion. So you can see it is making a square. So excited. So excited about that. Well, this thing is going to be massive. I wish I could show you in actuality, but look at how deep that triangle is. That is, if I hold it up to my neck, it goes to mid-thigh. It really does. It goes to mid-thigh. So this is a very big shawl. I am making the bigger size of this. There's 2 sizes to the half and half triangles wrap. I'm making the largest size. Let's see here. So yeah, this thing is going to be massive. All right, so here is where I was the last week. It's right here. So I knit up this way. This right here is where I added in the next. So probably even less than, oh my gosh, it was probably like 5 grams, 5 to 10 grams, because here's where I added the third ball, and it was just this. yeah, I'm trying to make sure that you could see what I'm showing you. But isn't that crazy? This is where I added the third skein, and it was just this. So that's nuts. But yeah, so this is where I was. I'm gonna keep this here for now because this tells me that this is the right side of the shawl. You need to be able to know which side is the right side and which side is the wrong side. Since it's garter stitch, you can't just tell by looking at it. I'll probably move it closer to where I'm working though, just because then I'm not searching for it. But this is the right side. Yep. Fun times. I just have to review the pattern until I get this. This part is a little bit different than the first half, so I have yet to memorize exactly what I'm doing. It's simple, it's just I need to memorize it because I keep thinking of, you know, how I was doing it before. So yeah. Okay. The only other project that I've been working on is the Rose cardigan by Andrea Mowry. So I'm going to show you. I have the first quadrant finished. I think it was somewhere in here when I showed you last, but I had to block it. So I had to take the progress keeper out. But here it is in all its lovely glory. It looks so much better washed and blocked. It's a lot softer now. It's light, drapey, so wonderful. It's very lightweight. I'm using Holst Garn in Super Soft. Let me pull this out so I can show you. Holst Garn, Super Soft. This is the peony colorway. These are 100% wool. These are the 50-gram cakes, which is 287 meters or 314 yards. It is wonderful yarn to work with. I love it. So I finished up, like I said, I finished up. This is the back right quadrant, I believe. Yes, it goes on this. It'll go on the back right here. And then the next part of the pattern is the right or the front left. Sorry. So it's weird. You did the back and then you're doing this front. So this is where I'm at and I'm in the middle of a row. Oh, that's because I'm doing short rows. So I'm almost always going to be. Oh, that's unfortunate. But let's see here. That's not. This is the right side. So it's a reverse stockinette cardigan. I have almost the entire thing finished. Like I said, I'm working in the short rows for the front panel. So I'm in the white. So yeah, I got almost the entire thing finished. There's this wonderful cable along the top. I wish I could show you. I'll show you next week, of course, because this will be finished, washed and blocked, and I'll be on to the next portion, whichever one that is. I think it's probably the back left, I think is what you do, and then you'll do the front right. Not weird, but I'm just following the pattern as it is written so that I don't get lost. This is actually quite easy. I was really nervous about this pattern. It seemed so in depth, maybe because I hadn't read through it when I first purchased the pattern. And I just assumed I was going to be knitting in the round, you know. I knew it started on a sleeve. I just thought it'd be in the round. So I was a bit nervous about that. I thought it was going to be more intense, but it's knit in panels. So it will be seamed. I've never seamed anything before, so that's going to be fun. But yeah, something new. Yeah, I'm excited to get it done. So yeah, if you could feel the difference between an unwashed and a washed Holst Garn, it's really lovely. definitely blooms and just so lovely. So this is the wrong side, but it is the stockinette side, so, or the knit side of stockinette, but this will be the right side. So colors. Ooh, excuse me. We got Peony. This is the darkest pink. Allium, I believe it's how it's pronounced, for the medium pink. Candy Floss is the light pink, and then the white is actually ecru, and I have a giant cone of that. Whole scarf. I went on their website the other day just to look at their cones, and unfortunately they have gone up in price since I've purchased cones. When I purchased these, I think they were like $23 a cone. They're now $32. I still think it's worth it. Definitely. You're getting 500 grams of fingering weight yarn. It's wonderful. I don't know about the shipping. I know back when I ordered, it was most cost effective to order 3 cones at a time for your shipping. Once you go over the 3, the shipping goes up. But if you are interested, I have several cones and I would love to have more. I don't need them yet, so I'm going to wait, but these are fantastic to have. You can make several sweaters. Yeah, several sweaters. So yeah, I'm just chugging along on this, enjoying it. Yeah, I'm gonna get this one finished today, most likely, because like I said, I'm just in the short row section. And it shouldn't take that long. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm exhausted. Let's see here. Okay, the only other project I have finished is I finished a spin. So this just got finished drying probably yesterday, but I just left it hanging. This is 100% Corriedale in gray. So it's probably the natural color. I ordered actually 1.25 pounds from Busy Bee Fibers a while ago. I forget how, I don't know if it was last year or the year prior, to be honest. I don't know. But I got 1.25 pounds. I could have sworn I ordered 16 ounces, but the bag said 1.25 pounds, so I probably put in the website wrong and just got that much. But this was the last bit of the fiber to spin up. I've spun up this much. I think some of it did get chucked at one point. I think I either messed it up or something happened. Yes, I remember. I was spinning some of this up, and while I was spinning it, I found a little bug on my lap, and I was worried that the bug was in this fiber. So the fiber that I had been spinning, like I broke off the fiber. I put the rest of the fiber in the freezer to do, you freeze it and then you take it out and then you freeze it again, just in case, to kill anything that might be in there. Luckily, there was nothing in the fiber. Like, I went through it. I left the fiber in the freezer, took it out, and then left it in my garage for months. So that definitely fluctuated in temperature as well. But I hadn't found anything after I pulled it back in. I went through the fiber, didn't see anything. But the fiber that was already spun up, I think I tried to pull that off into an Andean braid to ply, an Andean bracelet, so that I could ply it into a 2-ply, but there was so much of it that it kind of just ended up becoming a giant knot, so I ended up just chucking it. So a good portion of it did get chucked, unfortunately. But this is what I have. Oop, I just hit myself. So I have 4 skeins. Unfortunately, only these 2 are fingering weight. These 2 are not as well, because I started spinning these in the beginning of my spinning journey, so it's a lot of, and I spun these up really fast, because Corriedale's really nice to spin. I wasn't paying attention, so I don't know which one was first, but I wrote on here that I got about 124 yards, 12 wraps per inch, about a DK weight, maybe closer to worsted weight. And then this one is definitely a worsted to DK as well. I don't know any of the stats on this, but I can see that there are some thick and thin spots on this. It is not 100% uniform. So we have like this nice thin piece. Oh, sorry. That feels thinner compared to maybe that. I don't know if you can tell the difference. It looks it to me. At least this one is definitely thinner than, I don't know what you can see. I'm sorry. So I'm not sure if I have enough to do anything with all four. Like, I don't think I can do. Again, these are fingering weight spins. Much better. Definitely more uniform. If it's not fingering, it's sport weight. I was hoping to be able to knit the, oh gosh, the slanting slip over. Let me double check real quick. Sorry, guys. I think it's the slanting slip over by Ann Venzel. Let's see here. Let's go back. I have it in my good notes, I think. Yes, the slanting slip over. Okay, I was correct. I would like to knit this with the Corriedale, but I believe you need... Okay, so this is in a yarn I've never heard of before. Version 2 said Jensen yarn by Isair and alpaca held with alpaca 1 by Isair. So I don't know if this is supposed to be a DK weight slip over or a worsted weight. I forgot. I know I looked it up before, but I think, because I don't know if the Jensen is a DK. I'm assuming the alpaca is like a Surrey alpaca, but yeah, because it says it's 400 meters per 50 grams. So that would be probably a lace weight. But the Jensen is 250 meters per 100 grams. So I don't know if Jensen yarn by Isair is a fingering or a DK. I'm assuming it's a DK. So holding those two together would make a worsted. Either way, if this doesn't work, that's okay. I mean, I could probably hold it with some Surrey alpaca. I do have a ton. I don't know. But it was the goal. I mean, I don't think this is enough to do that in. I'll have to do some gauge swatches and figure it out. But I do want to do something with this. That was a lot of spinning right here for me. It's my first biggest spin, and it was boring because it's all one color. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. That is all. I did take apart I didn't take my spinning wheel apart. I did take some of it, like the flyer and all the regular things that I could take apart. And I did clean my wheel yesterday. At least halfway cleaned it. I wiped it down, and then I used some cleaning oil that is recommended. I did purchase some, what is it, like finishing oil from Home Depot, but unfortunately I couldn't open the can. My husband couldn't open the can. My neighbor couldn't open the can, so I have to return it. So I couldn't wipe it down with finishing oil. I'm not sure if it needs it. I did clean it though. It does look a lot better. So my wheel is, I have a shacked ladybug that my husband bought as a Christmas gift last Christmas. you know, Christmas 2021. Yes, Christmas 2021. It was a secondhand wheel that we found on Craigslist. Like one night, my husband just showed it to me on Craigslist, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I saw the price. I'm like, that is a really good price. And so he ended up contacting that person without me knowing, and he got that for me. But the wheel was made in 2010, so it is 12 years old. I don't know if it's ever been cleaned prior to me, but definitely in the year that I've had it, I haven't cleaned it, so I wanted to give it a good wipe down and oiling and all that stuff. So I haven't put it back together yet. I'll probably do that soon because I'm ready to start a new project. I don't know what I'm going to pick out of my fibers, but we're going to do something. Okay, so that is all that I've done fiber related. Now I'm going to show you something that I created. So I watched the latest Andrea Mowry video on Friday, and she showed that she likes to track her spinning, and she typically does it in a notebook. While I like tracking, I love tracking things. If you've seen any of my previous videos, it was probably my plans video, I think. I can't remember which one, but I talked about my tracking. I use not Excel, but I use my computer. I like to use any type of Excel program. So the one that's available to me is Mac Numbers, so I use that. But I track daily what I knit on. I like to see how long it takes me to knit on something. I love to track that. I've made myself a new tracker to help me work through this stash. I just want to see how many skeins I can use this year. I haven't done that in the past. I kind of wish I had, but that's okay. We're starting now. So yeah, anyways, tracking spinning hasn't been easy because I don't do it daily. I tried doing it the way I do it with my knitting, but that just didn't work. I've tried using Ravelry to track my spinning projects. It's not as easy as for knitting projects. It just, for some reason, it was just not intuitive for me. So I was just like, okay, well, I'm not tracking any of my spinning. Sometimes I get smart and print out one of these little tags and fill it out with information, but half the time I don't even get most of the information. Yeah, sometimes I just don't do the tags. So I'm like, I saw Andrea Mowry. She decided to go digital this year for her spinning tracking stuff. So that was really interesting. And I'm like, okay, I use GoodNotes now. How about, and I noticed that she didn't offer like a program, not a program, but she didn't offer her little journal as a, PDF to purchase or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to create my own. And so I took the kind of like the bullet points that she used in hers, the things like when she starts, when ends, where the fiber's from, the fiber content, the name, the colors, the fiber prep, the wheel you use, plies, whips, not whips, I'm sorry, wraps per inch, finishing weight, finishing yardage, and so on and so forth. So I took that information and I started to create a document in my GoodNotes. So I was playing around in GoodNotes and I made this little cover. It says Fiber Spinning Journal, and I took the information and started messing around. This is just a sample. And then I threw in, I really like that she had pictures, because I'm really bad at like posting good photos of my hand spun. So I was like, okay, this is great. So I created this, but I'm like, okay, well, this is going to be difficult because I'm going to want to see what how much I've done in 1 month. Like if I do more than one spinning project per month, I'm going to want to see that. And say I'm in the middle of June, but I want to go back to March and see everything that I did there. I'm going to have to scroll forever. And I don't like that idea. I purchased a planner, like a digital planner off of Etsy the other day. It was like $1 something, but it's very intense. But on the sides right here, these little tabs, those are actually hyperlinks. So all you have to do is tap on that and it'll take you to the month. If you want to go to the specific day, all you have to do is type or click on one of the numbers. It won't work because I'm in the, I don't know. It's not working. Okay. I can go to the actual day spread and fill that out. So I was like, I like the hyperlinks. I want hyperlinks. So after several hours on Friday, once I got home from work, spent several hours researching on how to create a digital, like just anything I could find. So I did look at digital planners, like how to create them and how to add hyperlinks. So I found out how to do that. So I created a new spinning journal, and I had to create it in like PowerPoint, or for my Mac it's Keynotes. But I figured out how to create hyperlinks. So I made a new one. Unfortunately, it is only landscape. So this is your month, like, what do you want to call it? Your monthly marker, I guess. So the beginning page, that's January 2023. And everything can be on one page since it has to be landscape, unfortunately. If I turn it this way, it doesn't look as good. So yeah, same information on this side you can fill out. You can throw in your photos on this side. I did throw in the gray Corriedale there because I was trying to do like a video tutorial and it wasn't working out. But as you can see on this side, you have numbers 1 through 12. All you have to do is click on one and it'll take you to that monthly marker. So December's and so on and so forth. You can do that. And so it's nice if you have to add extra pages in per month, you don't have to scroll through all of it. And there is if you use GoodNotes, you notice that there's a 4-block. I'm trying to see what you see up here. You click on that and then, oops, nope, I clicked on the wrong thing. It brings up this little thing. And all you have to do is click on a little arrow to duplicate one of the stat sheets, and then you can just press and hold and move it to where you need it. So that way you can add more if you need to. And the hyperlinks work every time you duplicate a spreadsheet, or not a spreadsheet, but a stat sheet. So yeah, I created that and I'm pretty proud of it. I do feel like it's pretty bare, but for the moment, this is all that I really need. I thought about throwing in a tracker so that you can mark every day that you do spin, but at this moment, I don't think it's necessary. Maybe later on down the road, I'll update it if I feel like that's something that I need. But I wanted to let you know that this little journal that I created, I put it on my Etsy. So it is available to purchase if you want to use it for GoodNotes, if you have GoodNotes. I believe you could probably print it out as well and throw it into a binder. It is just a PDF file. But again, it's in landscape, and then you wouldn't be able to add the photos unless you print out your photos. So that is what I created. Pretty proud of myself for it. So I'm hoping to be able to use that. So now that I finished the Corriedale, I just want to take one more photo of all of the yarn together, put in some notes, and then I need to put in my finished weight and yardage when I get that information. So this one, the one I have as an example, is something I did spin right before I finished the gray stuff, but I finished this, I believe, well, probably early January. I'm not entirely sure. That or December. So, but so yeah, that is fun. Again, it's in my Etsy. I have that all listed in my description below, if you want to check it out. Okay, one last fiber thing, and then on to the other stuff. So in this bag, I have a bunch of yarn. Ooh, you cannot see. A bunch of yarn. This is a Schopel Zauberball Crazy. Bunch of this stuff. So I bought all this for the Shifty 2.0. The Shifty pullover. I know I talked about this in, I think it was my whips video. My whip parade video, I think. And how I was talking about how I don't really like the look of this. I'm not a big fan of circular yoke sweaters. I have maybe one or two that are circular yokes, but I'm not the biggest fan of them. And I did not like the way that this sweater looked for some reason. So obviously Andrea Mowry just released the Shift Again, the cardigan version of this. So I'm thinking of just going ahead and maybe knitting that with this yarn. The only problem is that her background yarn for her Shift Again is closer to solid. Mine is, which one is my background yarn? I think it's this one. I think this is my background color. So it is a color shifting. Definitely shifts. This is the Shifty. I just haven't ripped it out yet. So I'm a little bit worried, but I think I'm still going to go ahead with it. But what I'm thinking about is actually counting this back towards stash. I did not count this in my big number at the beginning of the year, just because it was in a project bag as a project that I was still unsure about. So I did not count it, but I think I'm going to go ahead and add it to my beginning of the year number, since I did purchase this a while back. So my total beginning number is going to go up by, what is this, 6 skeins. But that's okay, because if I do start the Shift Again relatively soon, this can come out again. But yeah, I just wanted to hold this accountable. I have all this yarn. I kind of wish I would have done that with this. So the half and half triangle wrap, I did not count the extra skeins that I had in my stash because this project was already started. I was going to be using them, but I probably should have just counted the skeins that I had not caked up yet into stash, but I didn't. So, because then that would have been motivating to be able to pull those skeins out. That's what I feel like. It would have been more motivating that once I needed to use the gray, that's the skein out. But I had already counted it as out for the year. But yeah. Okay. Last thing I want to talk about is life stuff. I started some fun stuff this week. So I've been seeing ads on Facebook for this thing called the Conqueror challenge. I'm not sure if you've seen it yourself. You might now, since I'm talking about it, but the Conqueror challenge is I don't even know how to explain it. It is a kind of like you don't work out. You can do it at however you want, but it is a motivator to actually get up and move, with the great incentive of getting awesome medals at the end. So I don't know how to explain it the right way. I guess I'm just going to tell you what I did, and hopefully that'll explain it. I'll insert pictures as I talk about it, just so you can kind of see. So it's an app that you can get on your phone. And you sign up for, well, you can't use the app until you sign up. So you got to go on the website. Sorry. You have to go on the website and pick one of these awesome challenges. So I went through and looked at them. And of course, the one that I wanted to start with was the Iceland challenge. So it's called the Ring Road Iceland. And the whole premise is that I'm going to get up and walk or run or use the elliptical or swim or, any kind of exercise that you might want to do. And I'm going to use that exercise towards this challenge, which means that I can input it into the app once you sign up, and practically pretend that I'm walking around Iceland. So the Iceland challenge is the perimeter of Iceland, well, the ring road, right? It's the main road around Iceland. It's 828 miles. Yes, I was like, of course I'm going to pick a giant one to start with. So I went ahead and signed up. You can pick your timeline of how long. So it's when you sign up and you're picking your timeline, it goes by weeks, like how many weeks you want to do it. And then it shows you about how many miles a day or kilometers a day you would need to do to complete this challenge in that time frame. And I was like, so I dropped it all the way to, I don't know how many weeks it was, but it said like 420 days. That would be about 2 miles a day. Cause I was like, I don't know if I do 2 miles a day. I don't know. I don't exercise. I don't track I don't track anything. So I didn't know. So I went and put that in and I'm like, okay, well, I have a year and a couple months to go ahead and get this finished. I'm going to start walking to work. The work is, so the school that I work at is 0.3 miles away from my house. So not very far. And that's about 2 blocks probably. So yeah, I was just like, okay, I'm going to start walking to work, which means I'm going to walk back. When it gets warmer, I'm going to start walking to pick up my kids from school. And their school is about a mile away from where we live. So that's 2 miles, right there. So we're, and my husband likes to go for walks after work when it's in the warmer months. So there's extra walking there. So I'm like, okay, this is something that's doable. I have it's not a traditional elliptical. Is it a Bowflex? It's like you still do this, but it's almost like a stair stepper too. We have that, but I haven't been able to figure out how to track my workouts on that on my watch, because it doesn't, even if I hit elliptical, it doesn't seem to sync with the app for the Conqueror. So I have skipped doing that. So yeah. But yes, so you can track it on your watch. They have lots of, not just your watch, they have a lot of different systems you can use: a Garmin, a Fitbit, an Apple Watch. I forget what else. There's other things. There's different apps you can use, like the Adidas Running is the most recommended, Apple Health, and a few others that I'm unaware of. Oh, I think Under Armour is one of them. So you can sync all these apps to it, so it can automatically update you as you go. You don't have to manually, but you can manually put in your information, like if you track. You can do that as well. And on the app, it's super cool because you can see where you are on the map. So for Iceland, there's a little thing and it shows your little icon and where you are according to the distance you've done. You get postcards of areas. Google Maps is linked to it. So you can actually click on the little, there's a little thing on there you can click on and it will take you there. And so you can actually see the surroundings. I've seen, there's a Facebook group for this as well, so people post as well, but I've seen some funny things. In Iceland, I was just exploring off the trail, and there was a group of people just posing for the camera, for the Google Maps camera. Somebody posted on the Facebook group of the Yellowstone challenge, and there was somebody in front of the Google camera picking their wedgie, and it was caught on camera. So that was funny. But then you got all these beautiful things. And so I was just like, wow. And then at the end of it, when you finish, now I don't know what happens if you don't meet your time requirement. I do not know what happens, but I know at the end of it, you get a medal. And these medals are beautiful. They're not just cheap crap medals. These are beautiful medals that some of them have interactive little pieces that you can remove or they spin or they open. It's super pretty. So obviously I got the Iceland one because I really want to go to Iceland one day. But then I started thinking, after I joined that challenge, like, could you stack challenges? Could you do more than one at a time? Is this a thing you can do? And so I looked into it, and yes, this is something you can do. You can do a whole bunch of them at the same time if you want. You could sign up for a whole bunch, but you can do, say you want to do walking for one of them, you can do running for the other. You can track just steps or just, treadmill running, or swimming for certain ones. So you can do a whole bunch at the same time. Or you can do, like, say I go walking. I can use that walk for all three. Doesn't matter. They let you do that. So I'm just like, okay, I'm going to sign up for another two, because I think at the beginning of the year they were doing a sale. I don't know if it's still available, but you could buy two for 20% off. I know they had different ones, but I did two for 20% off. So I added the flower route, which is in the Netherlands along the Tulip Road. Probably should have waited until like March, April, because unfortunately on the map, because the map isn't real time, is it? The Google, no, it's not real time. They do tell you the temperature real time in the place, but there's no flowers to look at, unfortunately. The fields, when I click on the little Google Maps, there's no flowers. So I don't know if it would show up if it was in that time frame, but I am doing the flower route, which is only 41 miles. And then I also picked the West Coast Trail, which is in Vancouver Island, British Columbia, Canada. And it's a trail along the coast. That's 47 miles. I believe that is a new challenge for this year. It's really interesting to see the maps for that. At first it wasn't working, but now it is. So I'm seeing the trail, which is in dense forest or along the beach. But the postcards that I get occasionally, the postcards are in the perspective that you're writing from where you are on the trail or where you are. But it's interesting to read the information for the location. So both of those, the flower route and the West Coast Trail, I'm over 50% done with both of those, I think. I know 50% on one of them. The other one, maybe close to 50%, if not already. But yeah, those ones are going a lot quicker. And so I'm not doing much more activity than I normally do. I mean, I stand and walk at work. I work for 3 hours a day, but I'm on my feet the entire time. So that counts. But I noticed that because I wear an Apple Watch and I have it synced to the app, just waking up, moving around, getting the kids ready for school, taking them to school, and then getting myself ready. I'm going to be honest, knitting, all counts. It all counts as me moving. And so that's what's making it a little bit faster for me. I'm about 15 to 20 miles ahead of schedule on all of my challenges, which is super awesome. I was thinking about slowing down like one of the smaller ones just because they're going so quick, but honestly I don't mind because I'll just sign up for more. There's so many different challenges. I think the shortest one I saw is the English Channel. That's 21 miles. I know there's Route 66, which is over 1,000 miles. They have so many different options. You'll have to go and look. It's so cool. And then they have, I guess they have a one for every year. So this one's called Conqueror 2023, and they got a pretty medal for it. But you pick how long you want it to be. You pick your goal, miles or kilometers wise. I didn't sign up for that one just because I like the other ones. They also have a Lord of the Rings one. So you walk from the Shire to Mordor. But the way it works is you can't sign up for the other one. So it's 5 total. You have to do the Shire and then finish that one before you can start the next one. So that might be something I want to do. I'm not a big Lord of the Rings fan, but the medals are beautiful. So the Shire medal has the ring, and that ring actually so you take it out of the first medal, and then you have to put it in the last medal, which is for Mordor. So you got to go through all of them. It's kind of cool. So yeah, I'm doing that. I'm hoping it helps me move more this year. I'm really motivated if there is a reward. And these medals are very beautiful, and the app is really fun. So yeah, I just want to talk about it because I think it's super cool. Not everybody knows about this, especially if you're like me and is motivated by rewards, like physical rewards. Maybe that's something you'd like to do too. Plus, like I said, it's not, I saw somebody post on the Facebook this morning that they were sad that nobody in their life is as excited about it as they are. Like they can't talk to them about it. Kind of like how, with us knitters or cross stitchers or any kind of, our family, if they're not into it as well, we can't really share our joy. Like we can try to share our joy with them, but it's not the same as sharing it with somebody who actually does the thing as well. So when she was talking about that, people in the comments were like lifting her up, saying that they'd support her. It's okay. And that, it's better than having a gym membership and then not using it, but still paying for it. At least we're using this imaginary, like, it's imaginary. I'm walking across Iceland imaginary. There's an Everest one I'm probably going to do. I'm going to climb Mount Everest for fake. I'll never climb the real mountain. It's too scary. But, I can do it in my imagination. That'll be fun, right? But yeah, so this is, if you've thought about, like, because I've purchased a gym membership in the past and never once used it and paid for it the whole time. This I pay for, and I'm doing it without even thinking about it. All this that I'm doing, when I get up and clean all this up, that's my movement. It's not a lot, but it adds up, which is fantastic. And like I said, it's getting me to walk to work. I actually drive to work on a normal basis. And like I said, it's 0.3 miles away, 2 blocks. I still drive to work. This is getting me out to exercise. So yeah, that's really exciting. I'm going to go ahead and I have a referral code. I'm going to throw it in the description box below. That could get you 10% off your first order if the other sales are not running still. If the other sales are running, get those. Those are better. But the referral code that I have is for 10% off. And if I can get several people to sign up, I think it's just 2, honestly. If 2 people sign up, I get a free challenge, which, like I said, I'd probably get Everest. They have, or the Scotland one. They have Scotland, which is 500 miles. You do the coast of Scotland. They have one in India. They have the Great Wall of China, and they have 2 options. You got the short version or the long version of the Great Wall of China. So yeah, they have so many different ones, but if I can get people to sign up, I can get a free one. Honestly, I don't care if you sign up or not. I just want to share that this is a thing out there that you can do, and you can get fun medals at the end of it. The Facebook group is amazingly encouraging and funny, and I'm happy. I'm happy that I signed up. So yeah, that's all I wanted to tell you about. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let you go because I'm hungry and I'd love to eat lunch. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. I'm going to get this quadrant of the rose cardigan finished today. And I'm going to enjoy the rest of the day. I don't have to have laundry finished because we don't have school tomorrow, so I can be lazy. So yeah, and don't forget, if you want the spinning journal, it is on my Etsy. Again, that's listed below, and I will see you guys next week.